Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. However this reaches you, whenever this reaches you. I go by the name Big Papita. This is my channel, Big Papita 396. I am not a shop steward. I'm not a representative. I'm just a member like you. I try to educate us with the policies. I try to educate us about our contract bargaining agreement. If you like what I'm saying, this is your first time, you hit that subscribe button. Share it with somebody if you haven't already done so. Hit that like button. You know, get the word out. So yesterday we were going over a disposal location. We were going over heavy containers. Now we get into pulling and towing trucks. Pulling, towing, stuck trucks. Never allow heavy equipment to push a truck. This is an unsafe practice as it can severely damage the body and truck frame. Hooking and unhooking. Driver is responsible for hooking and unhooking the cable chain sling to their truck. Contact route manager or maintenance if the truck does not have the proper tow hooks. Route manager or maintenance will determine where to attach tow cables. Communications. Driver must clearly communicate and maintain eye contact of intended movement between both vehicles. Towing power. The driver of the stuck truck must not apply power until the towing vehicle begins movement of the stuck truck. The towing vehicle is to apply power gradually and only after receiving the go-ahead sign from the stuck truck driver or the assisting person. Keeping the towing area clear. Cables. Keeping the towing area clear. The area must remain clear between the two vehicles. All personnel are to remain at least one cable length away from the tow cable. The distance must be maintained for safety reasons. Only cable slings designed for towing are to be used. These cables slings must be rated, inspected, and maintained for just this purpose. At this yard, I believe we use a towing company. You call the mechanic. You let the mechanic know that you're stuck. And the mechanic calls a tow truck company, usually to tow your truck. And you usually ride with the mechanic. So this may not apply for us. Back at the yard, housekeeping. All right, so it says driver and helper must keep the inside and outside of the truck clean. Truck washing. Trucks are only to be washed in designated and approved areas for truck washing. Fueling vehicles. Always control ignition sources. Shut down vehicle prior to fueling. Do not smoke within 50 feet, 15 meters of the fueling area. Do not leave the vehicle unattended during the fueling process. Do not wedge objects in the handle to dispense fuel. If the automatic shutoff device is not in place or working properly, you must continuously hold the handle while fueling the vehicle. Hazard communication, WHMIS. Driver and helper working around fluids must be familiar with the chemical and physical hazards of these materials. If there are any questions about workplace chemical or physical hazards, ask a route manager. Parking. Park a vehicle in its designated parking area for the night with its parking brake set. Turn off the battery disconnect. Driver's daily vehicle inspection report. Driver must follow WM Fleet Services driver inspection standards and complete a legible WM driver vehicle inspection report after driving a truck. These standards are found in the most recent DV Driver Vehicle Inspection Guide published by Fleet Services. Complete driver's log. Observe all state, federal, and provincial laws. All WM drivers falling under DOT/MOT regulations must complete a driver's log recording their hours of service unless they fall under an exemption. Note, hours of service regulations and logging exemptions are found at Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration website under rules and regulations. All right. Emergency situations. Driver and helper must know emergency response procedures. Okay. Truck fires. Do not operate trucks with paper, plastic bags, or other objects near the engine or in the area between the back of the cab and the body. Watch for smoke, hot spots in the truck body, blistering paint, or other signs of a fire while on the route. Driver must contact dispatch immediately and begin emergency response procedures if fire, smoke, or the smell of smoke is detected. Always do the following steps if a fire is in the engine, cab, or hydraulic reservoir area. Immediately stop the truck in a safe area or on the side of the road, open area, etc. Remember, today we had a meeting and a route manager specifically, I believe, told us that we have to contact them when a fire is going on and let them know, hey, this is where I'm at. Where should I dump out at? Because of the big fire that happened, I believe 4 or 5 years ago. There was a huge fire. I believe it was, I forget which company it was, but that truck fire caused a huge fire in the area where many houses were lost, a lot of properties were damaged, and I believe the company and the driver were held responsible. So that kind of changed the industry as far as dumping in an open area, because you might dump in an open area, but there's brush near the open area that may catch fire. Once that brush catch fire, that's it. It's going to spread like germs and spirits. It's going to be everywhere. All right. Immediately stop the truck in a safe area on the side of the road, open area. Shut off the truck, which should eliminate the hydraulic pressure. Get out of the truck. Do not open the hood, because it may cause the fire to flare up. If it is safe to do so, engage the battery disconnect. If trained in proper use of a fire extinguisher, attempt to put out the fire. Always do the following if a fire is in the body/box of the truck. Pack the load as tightly as possible to force air out of the load. Immediately locate a safe place where the hot load can be discharged, preferably not in the roadway. Select a location where the hot load will not create an additional hazard, i.e., do not park next to a building or in a high traffic area. Discharge the load and move the truck to a safe area. Control the fire with fire extinguishers or water hoses if available and properly trained. Control the fire with fire extinguishers or water hoses if available and properly trained to use them. Fire extinguisher use. An employee must not use a fire extinguisher unless they have been properly trained. Okay, very interesting. Spill control. Always do the following steps if a spill of fuel, oil, or other liquid material occurs. Immediately contact dispatch providing spill location, material, and amount of the spill. Engage battery disconnect and close main hydraulic valve. Wearing the appropriate PPE, contain and control the spill if safe to do so. Okay. So now you know what to do with spills. Overhead lines. Do not get out of a truck if it comes into contact with overhead lines. If someone attempts to climb out of the truck, they may become part of the electrical current and be electrocuted. Stay in the truck until cleared to exit by police, fire department, or EMS authorities. Never, and I mean never, touch an overhead line. Immediately notify dispatch of the incident, providing the location. All right. So we're going to get into, let's see. All right. Let's try to speed this up. Incident procedures. This is important. This is a cardinal infraction. Okay. So it says driver and helper must report all incidents and near misses immediately to the district. Okay. So it's clear as day. 11.1, protecting the scene. Set out reflector triangles at the scene according to federal, provincial, or local regulation. Do not leave the scene unless instructed by management or medical personnel. Statements to other personnel. Do not admit fault or accept liability for the incident. Do not argue about responsibility for the incident. Do not make statements until company representative is present, if possible. This includes talking with police officers and others involved in the incident. 11.3, alcohol and drug tests. If DOT conditions exist, the following apply. Driver and helper must make themselves available to management for at least 8 hours after an incident. Do not drink alcohol for at least 8 hours after driving, as this could influence post-incident testing. Minor property damage or unattended parked vehicle incidents. Report to dispatch. Driver must immediately report an incident to dispatch. A complete incident form. Driver must complete the incident form. Write down the time and the customer or the public address and location. Write down the car's license tag number, make, model, color, and year. Drivers and helpers must not withhold information or fail to give all the facts to waste management authorized personnel regarding unusual events, property damage, personal injuries, or operations and safety rules book violations. Do not leave the scene. Do not leave the scene unless instructed by management. Fleet Pride Equipment Incident Program. Driver and helper must immediately report any damage to their truck or equipment to dispatch, route manager, or maintenance. Personal injuries reporting. Driver and helper must immediately report any near misses, incidents, and or injuries to dispatch and or route manager. Reporting continued. These reported near misses, incidents, and or injuries may involve the employees or the public in the following areas: on waste management property, as a result of waste management's equipment, as a result of a waste management's employees' actions. Employee work-related injuries. Driver and helper must immediately report all injuries to dispatch and or a route manager. Driver and helper should seek medical attention as they deem appropriate or as directed by their route manager. Okay? Driver and helper must promptly notify their route manager if employee received medical attention after hours. Employee non-work related injuries. Driver and helper must report any non-work related injury that could in any way affect their job-related duties to their manager. Driver and helper must complete the appropriate forms before returning to work. Driver and helper must obtain a full release by a physician to return to work. Okay, we're going to stop there. Next time, we're going to go over page 63, which is residential rear end loaders. I think we covered a lot. Some of this stuff is already in the cardinal infractions. I already did a video about that. And these things are important, right? Like, this is something that I was already talking about in the January 26th video, where I was talking about we got to get out of this culture of trying to shame drivers, because some drivers may not report any and every incident or accident, and this is something that is required by the company. Not doing so will result or can result in immediate termination. That goes for the helper and the driver. So it's better to just go ahead and report it than get in a situation where, you didn't report it and you got caught. All right, so those were some pretty good things. As far as fire safety, this morning we had a meeting about it, but I think I will mention to the general manager of my yard that we need to kind of go over it again, because many people are new hires and they don't know, and they aren't properly trained on fire extinguisher safety. I believe we had somebody come visit the yard and teach us how to use fire extinguishers about 3 years ago, but so much time has passed since we last did it. So this is something that I'm going to mention to the manager next time that I run into him. Fire extinguishers safe, according to the work handbook, the work rule book, is that we all need to be trained on a fire extinguisher before using it. And who knows, since we have all of these things going regarding safety, maybe that could prevent a truck from burning up and catching on fire if we properly know how to use the fire extinguisher. Yeah, so that's about it. Next video will be about residential rear end loaders, page 63. And I think we'll do commercial front end loaders. Yeah, we'll do residential rear end loaders and commercial rear end loaders next video. Thanks for watching if you made it this far. I hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.